Hey, what's going on, guys? Tre'Leon Bay here. Today's topic, we're talking about
Wholesaling properties for beginners.
all right, as a beginner, there's some really basic things that you need to know about wholesaling, and really it's so basic that you don't even want to overwhelm yourself with a lot of the other things. The three basic things you want to really concern yourself with is finding a great real estate deal, and a real estate deal, if you're going to wholesale properties, is going to have to be uh, a property that either needs some work, or the seller is willing to get rid of the property for a discounted price. And so you want to be able to find a property at a really, really great price that's discounted. And it want to be about 70% of the value that you would usually sell the house if it's all fixed up. So if you focus on finding a property that's at least 70% of the value that it would be, so that's at least a 30% discount on the property, then you found a great deal. Once you find that great deal, what you want to do is get it on contract, and there's usually just a one-page contract that you need. Keep it real simple. You want a contract that's really simple, where you can understand it and the seller can understand it. There's no questions, so you don't have to use a state-approved contract and things like that. You really can just use just a one-page contract that's really self-explanatory. And we have special contracts that we use. Our team, we really have a few different contingencies inside the contract to make sure that you're protected. But really, a basic contract, a contract can be on a piece of paper, on a napkin if you want, all right? But you want to be able to get the property on contracts, because that gives you control of the property, even if you're not going to go forward and buy it. Because the third thing that you want to focus on is you want to be able to find a cash buyer who's willing to purchase that type of property in that type of area. And so you find other real estate investors who have the cash, and those can be people who are landlords or people who are fix and flippers, and they buy those type of homes in that area. You go and find people who are already buying homes in that area, and you present to them the house that you now have control over through the contract, and you ask them if they would like to purchase it from you. What happens is you'll charge them a premium on top of the amount that you already have the house on contract for, and you'll be able to take that as your fee. And so, for example, if the house is worth, let's say the house is worth $100,000 when it's all fixed up, you want to be able to get that property on contract to be able to purchase it for $70,000, and then you want to be able to charge a cash buyer at least another $5,000 or more on top of that $75,000. All right, so let's say $75,000, you'll present that to a cash buyer who's either a landlord or a fix and flipper. You say, hey, if I have a great house that's already in the neighborhood that you usually buy homes at, and I have this house at a discounted price, I give it to you for $75,000. It's usually worth $100,000 when this is already fixed up. All right, and that's just a real quick example. You want the numbers to be as good as possible, so you want to be able to have the house to be as discounted as possible, and then you also want to be able to have the repair value as high as possible, so that the cash buyer can actually flip it to and actually make a great profit on it. Because sometimes cash buyers have a minimum amount of what they want to make. So say for someone who's a fix and flipper, and they go through 6 months of putting a bunch of money into a home and fixing it up, then a lot of times they want to make 25,000 or more, maybe even 40,000 is some of their minimum requirements. And so what they want, a very discounted house. And so the more discounted that you have, the quicker you'll be able to get rid of the property. And it's really not hard to find cash buyers when you have an excellent deal. If it's hard for you to find a cash buyer, then your deal probably isn't as excellent as you thought, because either the price isn't good enough, or the neighborhood just isn't good enough for those cash buyers to be able to consider your property a deal. All right, so that's really quickly wholesaling properties for the beginners. Just worry about those three basic things and you're in business. All right, peace.